Let's get to the North, where we're going to go Detroit Lions. I'm going to Aiden Hutchinson. He was on a fast track to Defensive Player of the Year last year. 45 pressures in 5 games. It was basically, if he was healthy, I don't think it was going to be even an argument. It was going to be unanimous selection the way he was going. But then he had a gruesome broken leg, tib fib. Will be back, yes, but will he be Aiden Hutchinson? That remains to be seen.
Look, as a guy who has had multiple big-time injuries and had to recover from different levels of injuries, I never had a tib fib, but I had a tibial plateau fracture, which is where you get hit in the front of the leg and your leg bends backwards and the bones hit so hard, the femur and the top of the knee bone, they hit so hard that they just explode. So I had to recover from that. And that was the one that was the most traumatic surgery. They had to go in and pull fragments out and all this stuff. I've got metal in there. It took me a year and a half to where I was out there running around and playing tennis and, shooting hoops and jumping off 2 legs. Obviously, he's going to be, and that was the last year of my career. So I didn't rehab the same way. Hutch, still, even if he deleted 6 months off the recovery, he won't feel the same for a year. And we saw him working out, and it didn't look like the Aiden Hutchinson that we remember being dominant.
Yeah,
but people lose sight of the fact that was a brutal injury. And you have to have an appreciation for whatever he does. But if he's great, they're going to be great. If he's not great, it's going to be a problem for the Lions. I agree with you there. My most important are John Morton and Kelvin Shepard, the coordinators for the Lions. I know they're not players, but they have a lot to do with the players.
Yeah, that one's pretty evident as well. And it's just hey, you got big-ass shoes to fill. You're leaving probably the biggest shoes of any OC-DC combo in the NFL. So, yeah, for the Detroit Lions, that's obviously where their season's going to fall. Vikings, to me, this one's obvious. JJ McCarthy. It's kind of the same as it was last year. It's just Sam Darnold. How good is Sam Darnold? This year, it's just JJ McCarthy. We have no freaking clue. How good is he going to be? That's your most important player.
Without saying JJ McCarthy, I'll just say Christian Darrisaw, because that will be directly impactful on McCarthy's success. Darrisaw, is he going to be the same coming back from injury? This group is really good when they've got their tackles right. So that remains to be seen.
All right, Green Bay Packers. To me, this one's, as just a Packers fan, this one's very obvious. It is Jair Alexander. The guy has not played a full season since 2022. Obviously, that's why there's been this, will they keep him? Won't they keep him? But every time he's played, the guy is still a top-tier cornerback in the NFL. Maybe not the Defensive Player of the Year caliber he was at one point in his career, but he's a top 15 corner when he plays. In the 7 games he played last year, they went 6-1. He's still only 28 years old. He's a super young guy coming out of college. Their best path to a Super Bowl comes with Jair Alexander playing on the outside. If they don't have him, I just think it's going to be very difficult for them to get over the gauntlet in the NFC. So, yeah, to me, it's Jair Alexander. Him, healthy, on a football field, happy to be there as well. That's your most important player.
He has a huge impact. I remember when he first came into the league, it was just circle that guy, find out exactly where he is, because he can ruin your game plan. For me, it's obviously Jordan Love. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? Will he be able to survive the nicks and bruises that come along with playing in the NFC North, or the NFL for that matter? And a big part of that's going to be Matthew Golden. What is going to come of this young stud receiver, and how are they going to implement him? Will he establish dominance early in that receiver room, and they're yearning for kind of somebody to step up and be ahead of everybody? This is an opportunity, and Jordan Love, when he is healthy, he can get it out there to you. So that's going to be what I have my eye on: Jordan Love and Matthew Golden.
All right, Chicago Bears. We don't have to say on this one. I know you don't like talking about the Bears, but it's Caleb. This is same as the Vikings one. It's just it's Caleb. He had such a tumultuous rookie season, up and down, but obviously dealt with a tumultuous coaching staff. And if you just like read the article that came out from who was it, Seth Wickersham or whatever on ESPN, about just talking about what he had to deal with from that coaching staff. It's like, yeah, maybe it makes a lot of sense that he didn't have quite the rookie season that other guys did in that class, but it's him, in my opinion.
Hey, look, you got to have a short memory. So even if there were bad things that happened earlier in the day, you got to have your eyes on this afternoon or this evening or whatever the hell it is. And for Caleb Williams, that's what I would implore him to do. And I also have Caleb Williams. It's going to be imperative for that ball to get out of his hands. He cannot sustain hits like he did last year for the entirety of a career, or he will be a guy that's in and out of the lineup more often than not. The offensive line is going to be huge. What are they going to get out of the young tackle Ozzie Trapillo? Are we going to be able to get?
You think he beats up Braxton?
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's got the frame for it, but I got to give Braxton credit. He's gotten better at the left tackle position. Obviously, the right tackle is spoken for, so it's not like they can just flip Braxton and put in Ozzie. They have draft capital at the first round at the right tackle with Darnell Wright. But it'll be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, Ben Johnson as a head coach, what's he like as a head coach? This is going to be a lot of fun to watch.